Lascaux Resonance Gouache is an acrylic-based gouache color with an exceptionally lush and buttery consistency. From all the colors created by Lascaux, the Resonance Gouache is a special one because of its vibratory, aromatic components. These colors support and encourage the soul's expressive potential and have a harmonic effect on both the individual and their environment. Lascaux Resonance Gouache contains bioactivated sage oil, which has a harmonizing effect and supports inner balance. It has a thick gel-like consistency. The colors are luminous and vibrant. They have high opacity and an even satin finish. They can be partially dissolved after drying, but they can be painted over without dissolving previously applied layers. They are light, fast, age-resistant and non-yellowing. They provide a carefully balanced color palette. When I first got in contact with Lascaux colors, more than 25 years ago now, Barbara Dieterm had just launched the Resonance Gouache. As an artist, she observed how humankind gets detached more and more from its creativity. The paint can help to get closer again to one's soul's expressive potential. As a pioneer, Barbara Dieterm collaborated with bioinformation technology. The highly refined and complex information carries a pure vibration which is held on a sage oil and integrated into the paint in a small amount. To understand how this works, you can imagine how you feel different while walking in the woods or walking underground with a concrete surrounding. This gouache I call a happy paint that softens the edges of the soul. It's been used for art therapy in art and design and art education. But as an artist, I love the paint due to the rich, velvety matte color and its smooth consistency. Because of the unique composition, one feels the softness while painting with Resonance Gouache. The colors are made with pure light fast pigments and an age-resistant synthetic binder. They can be applied with a brush as well as with fingers to get directly in touch with the paint. It has a high opacity and an even satin finish, but also it is very easy to go from the opaque to the diluted paint, and I think that's a really beautiful quality. To protect the gouache, the best to use Lascaux fixative. This doesn't change the soft character of the paint. As a former oil painter, I find gouache and Lascaux colors a beautiful alternative. And when I got introduced to Resonance Gouache, I realized, wow, this is unique. This is also courageous. The Resonance Gouache is created also to help people come back to their creative soul. Everything that is alive has vibrations. Also color has vibrations. Underneath this color, you can understand there's this little amount of bioinformation that is put on sage oil. And when you open it, I wish the smell could go to you as well. From the whole range of Lascaux colors, the Lascaux Resonance Gouache is the most pure in form. They stick best on surfaces like gesso, which are absorbent. I work now on pure paper. Every time you open the pot, the color shines. I always loved just to use brushes, but you can also use your fingers. You're directly in touch with this clean vibration that is in the paint. It helps the body. So that's why it's been used in therapy. As a painter, I just love this paint because you can easily work thick, but also thin. The colors, I'd like to mix a beautiful color here to make my own blue. Let's paint the sea. Like a traditional water paint, you would wetten the paper a bit. It's not necessary, but I do it now, just having fun. Here you see, it's beautiful goes. I once had a project in the Salinas Valley in America. I brought my Resonance Gouache and I had my little sketchbook in this size, but the idea was I would go into the country where the crops were developed. And there I saw, wow, I need large scale. So I bought, instead of my little sketch, big, huge papers, and I would sit down and paint with the resonance. I think I made 12 large paintings with my set of little jars. There was still left over. Only the white and the blue I used because of a lot of blue skies. So it was amazing to see how economical it is in the using of the paint. People in the laboratory of Lascaux, I asked them, so how does it work with this bioinformation? Because it's in the paint. So while painting, the information remains in the painting itself. Once in an exhibition, also in Zurich, I didn't know who made what. But while walking in, I directly walked towards a statue that was actually painted over with resonance gouache. So somehow it attracts as well. I first painted with a lot of water and directly the quick movement. Now I can easily go on top of it. When it's dry, it is still water insoluble, and I can, with a wet finger, I can take it away again. If I choose to, in the process, to have it waterproof, what I would do is add some medium to it, or gel to make it even thicker. Because of the holistic view of Lascaux, you can combine all these products together. Gouache is like an old tempera painting, only here we have an acrylic based binder. This allows us to paint also not only traditionally on paper, but also on canvas and actually on any surface prepared in a correct way, such as with gesso or with structura, which are most very absorbent. I show you here the grey, and here there's real stone in it from the Alps. I'll do partly black, beautiful matte structure surfaces. If I prefer, I could also make a funny pattern in the structura. The beauty of oil colors, you have to, it has a little resistance when taking it out of the tube. The same is with gouache. It's a bit sticky. There used to be Arabic gum, and here is a special acrylic binder for the gouache. For me, the gouache is like a direct paint. You can easily paint directly and draw with a lot of water. Just quickly given a little atmosphere. So this is an older paint, and I can add a little color on top. So it has a very powerful coverage. I will show you this collage technique. And for the collage, I can use mediums, also the lacks, the transparent lac, or the impasto gels. I can decide to keep the same atmosphere and use the medium 2, which is matte. Or I can choose, no, I want to make it more glossy, and choose for medium 1, for example, or a satin finish. In this case, I will choose for the 2, the mediums and the lacs. They are all milky, but once dry, they are absolutely transparent. With Lascaux, you have the guarantee it remains transparent. That's why I always use this for also the collage. How does it work? Well, I make sure the back of my image is covered well with the medium or the gel if it's heavy. So I'll place it here. To be sure this will be stuck really well, I put something heavy on top of it and leave it. I also brought something which I think works really well with this little gouache background, a special leaf that I will place on top. In this case, this needs a little more body, so I would use the gel. I have here glossy. Here we have a beautiful leaf. Because of the shiny, I think I will cover everything. So at the end, everything is shiny. Adding the gouache to the impasto gel, you make the gouache even thicker. I can demonstrate it on this piece as well. I can add the gouache to the medium and you see you will have a very thick gouache. Wow. So here I change the gouache into a shiny, thick paint. But also it works very well as a glue that will never yellow. And I just play around. Imagine I can also use some beautiful textiles. Here we go. I think there's only one gouache with so much brilliancy and high quality. You see, you can easily like sketch and draw or make a nice grass, all kinds of, just using these few colors. So people say when your palette is beautiful, then your painting is beautiful. But of course, it also has to do with the colors you use. So with Lascaux, it's easy. So here I'm making my grass piece. Out of it comes this flying soldier, of course, with arrows for the heart. And you see I can easily dilute it as well. So now I paint a bit wet in wet. Already the palette shows how beautiful colors you can get. I mean, the colors are helping me to paint. I think it's the right thing to say. So I can continue endlessly to just paint. And you see, usually the paint dries really quickly, but this remains still wet and easy to rework with. Before we prepared this Structura surface, I could stick this on this because Structura is also not only a support, a ground for an absorbent ground, but it also sticks. And I make sure everything is covered where I will stick this. So I'm working now with Structura, the black and very absorbent matte surface. Here we go.